I've just met Glyn. He's a local lad. He lives locally, and he's on the old Colwyn Diversion near the footbridge over the road. He's telling me we're sharing a great deal of views and agreeing on the hazard of the bypass, the diversion. But you particularly referred to a lady that uses a disability scooter.
Yeah, well, it's my wife. So I've got my daughter with me as well. So she uses a mobility scooter. She has a long-term illness which impedes her walking, so she has to use a mobility scooter to get around. And we live just up the road from the beach here.
Yes.
And so to come down to the beach, we normally follow a pretty quiet way down next to the river. But since they've added this diversion, she doesn't feel permissible, I guess. She feels as if coming along the trainway would cause a conflict with the walkers because her mobility scooter is quite wide. And so it just creates a blockage on the path that people have to then try and avoid her. So we've been coming down and over the slip roads off the A55, and then with Ada's younger brothers as well. And so coming with the family and the partner in the mobility scooter and crossing those slip roads, especially when you're coming in this direction,
yes,
because you've got traffic coming onto that slip road from 3 different directions. So it's obviously difficult.
Yeah, sure. Highly dangerous because the drivers are concentrating on the car ahead of them. Yeah. You're not within the cognizant zone in a way. Yeah. They're not cognizant of you there. Mm-hmm. Yes, well, many thanks.
Obviously the biggest concern is if there was a problem with her mobility scooter as she's in the middle of her crossing the road. Yes. And she's then left stranded in the middle of the slip road, would be a major concern.
The point has been made, I can assure you. So if you were taking a family, children, or perhaps riding a recumbent bicycle or an adapted bicycle in some way, it could be very dangerous. Anyway, many thanks. I wish you well.
Thank you very much.
You are our future. Do you realise? Okay, thanks. I'm talking to Ian on the coastal cycle path, the railway section at Old Colwyn. And he's just as any normal cyclist would do. He's just dismounted a couple of times as pedestrians have passed. Very pleasant chap with just brief acquaintance. But he mentions an incident that he observed earlier on, was it, Ian?
Well, I didn't observe it. It was a guy who was telling me that he came down here with his bike, and an old woman with a walking stick started to beat him with it because he was coming down here, and it was a big long walking stick, an actual cane, and she started to hit him with it. So very unacceptable, but that's what happened.
Had he done anything which would have justified a thwack around the head?
No, just came up here on his cycle, and that was it.
When he arrived at her, what did he do?
I couldn't tell you, I wasn't there.
I see,
I'm only telling you what he told me.
Yes, yes. Okay, and we would assume that if they got into that conversation that he would have dismounted for her to have a go at him with
I know what I would have done, but...
yeah. Okay, Ian. Many thanks, and
no problem.
Do enjoy your cycling. Despite all this signage here, we do keep a welcome in North Wales for cyclists.
Yeah. Oh, I'll keep on coming, don't worry.
Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All the best. I've just met these 2 young people on the railway track at Old Colwyn. They're heading now from the direction of Ross-on-Sea. They're heading down to see how far the track goes to. How are you finding it so far? What do you think of the area?
Oh, it's lovely, yeah.
Yeah. And you're getting about on your bikes?
Yeah. We are, yeah. I mean, it's such, because where we come from, we don't have such good cycle lanes, so we find it great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and of course the government is trying to persuade us to take more exercise.
That's right.
And this is one way in which you like to get your bikes out
Yes.
and enjoy your ride. Anyway, many thanks. You're from Wigan, aren't you? Anyway, all the very best to you, both of you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay, then, thank
I'm just speaking to two cyclists on the Old Colwyn so-called pedestrian path. Your name is Anthony Berry. You're from Llangollen and you come down here quite often.
Yeah.
And you tell me that you cycle along with care,
Of course, yeah.
but you have had difficulty with...
We've been verbally abused for using the path. Yes,
Yes.
we have.
For any justification that
Not
you're
really.
aware
I
of?
do understand that the path is narrow. We can't cycle on the road because of the works, the CD fences
Sure.
that are going on. But if you're prepared to cycle and take care with pedestrians,
Sure.
just watch your back. Then I don't see a real issue.
Yeah. You were telling me that you have used the alternative which goes through the A55 interchange.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and that is an absolute death trap for a cyclist.
Yes.
And for cyclists to have to detour up onto that dangerous stretch of road to get into Colwyn Bay is it's ludicrous.
Yes.
It's ludicrous. I'm certainly not going to do it.
Yes.
And I'm a seasoned cyclist. That road is death.
Yeah. The local authority has been warned. It's been warned that it's exposed to litigation in the event of an incident involving a cyclist being injured or killed. They have been warned formally. However, look, I'm stopping you on your journey.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I think if people cycle this route and take due care and
Sure.
share the route with pedestrians, then there's no issue.
I've walked this on many occasions from a pedestrian aspect and never had a moment's trouble. Many cyclists have passed me without any difficulty at all.
Yeah, I don't see an issue.
No, we only
Yeah.
had one person every time we've been done it, just one. Everybody else has been fine.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you won't get anybody else again.
yeah. Anyway, many thanks for stopping.
My pleasure. I'll continue to cycle this path until somebody puts me in chains. I don't see an issue. I take care of pedestrians, and yeah, so be it.
Okay, I'm on National Cycle Route 5 at Old Colwyn here, and I've just met Paul on the railway path, which is prohibited to cycling. Now, what is happening is that cyclists are coming on the path, but they are dismounting when they meet pedestrians coming the other way. I think Paul shares my view on that. You've experienced this, Paul.
Yeah, I feel that you should be able to go down if it's an empty path and there's nobody there. But if you see somebody that's there, you stop and you pull to one side and you let them pass and show them a bit of courteous.
Yes, you put your foot to the ground.
Yeah.
So this is what we're walking at the moment, and that's precisely what you did.
Yeah.
And that's what we've seen on a number of occasions during our walk along here. Anyway, many thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
Safe cycling. Have you seen the diversion? What's your view on the diversion?
I did, but it looked a long way around and I didn't know where really I was heading on it, so I wanted to cycle on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, many thanks, Paul.
You're welcome.
You take care. Okay. I'm on Old Colwyn Bay Promenade at the moment, and I've come across a cyclist with a trailer and also two cyclists from Chester.
Yes.
Their names are...
I'm Lou.
I'm Charles. And your friend's name is...
This is my brother Malcolm.
Malcolm. Hello, Malcolm.
I'm not.
Okay.
That's Freddie.
Ready,
That's
okay.
Freddie, and he's run all the way.
He's all the way. Okay, you were just saying that...
We want to do a bike pack because we usually cycle from Chester to here. There's parts of it you have to go on the road,
Yes.
Dangerous.
which is really dangerous. and yet there's a coastal path, but because of stiles and whatever, you cannot cycle it. Then when we get further on, we know we've done
Where is the stoppage? The stoppage is from Connors Quay
Flint.
up to Flint Castle. That's the section in question, which puts you on a main road. It's twisty and it's full of large articulated wagons, some of whom are using it as a shortcut rather than the A55.
There has been a cyclist killed on that road, but that's another one, several years ago.
Yes.
And then the other bit of the route we want to do is we've done the bit from Llandudno through to Conwy, and we've been round to Penmaenmawr on our bikes. But then further on from that, you can't use the walking route because, again, styles. When you get to Abergwyngregin, and you get stuck at Penrhyn Castle, although I know they're going to change that to have a walking route around that, but I don't know whether it's going to be a cycle route.
Okay.
Because you can do all the rest. We've done from Bangor.
What are your plans at the moment?
We want to do a bike pack.
And we want to link it all up.
Yes.
We want to link all the off-road stuff up, and it would really, really benefit the whole of North Wales to utilise the beautiful North Wales coast. It shouldn't be the privilege of just walkers or runners.
Okay.
It should be for these guys as well, because the roads are particularly dangerous and particularly busy.
Yes, can I just ask you, you've just come down the, what we call the railway path at Old Colwyn. Do you have any comment about that?
We've tried the diversion, but the signs disappear. There's a couple of signs to get you started for the diversion, and then they spit you out somewhere in a park, and
By a school.
There's no signs, so you just don't know what to do with that. So today we've come slowly along the pedestrian path. We've spoken to all the pedestrians and we've come along.
And they're all sympathetic, and we're
we've
sure
met
with
some really nice people.
Yes.
We've met some nice people on that walking route who are out for the same things.
Including the gentleman who was just stood here talking to us. He's an ex-racer. He's 73 years of age and he loves this track, and he cannot understand the stupidity of that track back there.
Yes.
And why it's all shut.
Yeah.
There's not a single person working in that roadworks behind us.
Yes.
There's not a single excavator.
Yeah.
It's over 6 meters wide. Why not simply open up a 2 meter section and keep it live?
Yes. Currently the path, the railway path, is exclude cyclists.
Yes.
That's not right. It's not right, because the diversion, for some people, they couldn't do the diversion because it's so steep. A lot of the people you see cycling along here, elderly people who are having a go, they couldn't do it.
What about children? What about family groups? What about charity rides, you know?
Yeah, well, it's
what
just,
about novices?
it's not doable because it's steep, and of course the signs just disappear.
And it puts you in the path of danger, necessarily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not simply open up the section against the handrail through here and share with curb?
There isn't sufficient space there, but just looking at the pedestrian path there, sharing with care, do you think that is easy achievable?
We've done it from Chester all the way through Rill down to Ridland to this beautiful lady's mum who's 99. We do it regularly and we share with care.
Did you say she was 99?
99.
Yes. This is this gentleman's mum and her mum. 99.
And we use our bells, and we always thank people if they move out of the way.
Okay. And would you say that you represent the vast majority of cyclists?
Most positively.
Most positively. We meet nice people.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Most positively. Most of the cyclists we come across are like myself, follically challenged. What they've got left is grey, and they've got a little bit of sense. They've been there and got the t-shirt.
Okay. Well, I'm holding you up on your journey.
Yes,
it's been a pleasure to see you.
He's dying to go, you see.
Freddy.
Ready, Freddy.
Okay, ready.
Ready, Freddy.
I'm on the railway path at Old Colwyn, just talking with Warren. Warren lives at Abergele, and he uses this path quite often. Warren, what do you think about this ban for cycling?
I am quite disgruntled by the fact that common sense doesn't seem to apply. There are signs up prohibiting the use of the path to cyclists, and and saying that it's only for pedestrians, when quite often, at the times I use it, there isn't a pedestrian anywhere to be seen. So I feel very strongly that it doesn't need rules, it needs common sense, the application of a little bit of give and take and common sense. And I have been stopped by people with dogs saying you can't use this path, it's prohibited to cyclists, I'll get the police, and being quite abusive and quite unpleasant about the whole thing, which is totally unnecessary in my view.
How old are you?
77.
So you've reached the age of wisdom, and you can judge evidence pretty well from your experiences.
I would like to think so.
Yeah.
And I would like to think that at this stage in life it shouldn't be too difficult to apply some common sense.
Yes. What do you think about the local authority that would direct cyclists, young children, families, people with disabilities? What would you think about directing those folk through the A55 interchange on the diversion? Have you examined the diversion in detail?
Yes, I have, and I've used it.
Yes.
I've used it more out of curiosity.
Yes.
And I don't think it's been thought through.
It hasn't.
And I don't think that the people who have made the decisions have actually got on a bicycle and used the diversions. I think had they done, or even walked it, they may well have not taken the line they have.
Yes, yes.
But I don't feel it's necessary.
Yes, I think I would agree with you completely. I'm a little older than you. I'm nudging 88. I certainly wouldn't use that diversion. And there are many people of my age, your age, cycling down here. Anyway, I'm very grateful to you. It's a lovely day today, and I hope that you have many years cycling ahead of you.
Thank you.
All the very best to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm a cyclist.